Welcome, everybody, to Casting for Two, the podcast, as always hosted by me, Chris. Welcome, everybody. This is episode number 237. Of course, if you'd like to follow me on Twitter and Instagram, you can find me at both Casting for Two. That's at Casting for Two. Once again, the sponsor for the podcast is Cougar Gaming. Cougar Gaming makes all sorts of awesome gaming peripherals as well as chairs, computer cases, stuff like that. And I talked about it last episode, and I'll talk about it this episode. They sent me their Cougar Revenger S gaming mouse. Man, the more and more I use it, the more and more I just love it. I had to use a friend's mouse the other day, and I was just like, bleh, what is this? Get this trash out of my way. I only use perfection. I've actually gotten quite used to it, and it's amazing how much it's changed not only my gaming but also the way I edit. I feel like it's a lot more precise, which is real nice. So, of course, if you'd like to pick up the Cougar Revenger S mouse, link is in the description, or search it on Amazon, or even go to cougargaming.com and search for it there. So everyone go do that. My guest for today, he's a very talented artist. He's an artist because he's a musician, singer, songwriter. He's also a painter. I got Mr. Daniel Martin Diaz from the band Trees Speak, and this was a very interesting chat that I had with him because he the whole process of the album that is out now was just fascinating, and I enjoyed Daniel. And Daniel, you're more than welcome to come back anytime you want. But I should stop talking again in this episode, so sit back, relax, and Chris, cue the music, please. Okay, this is a weird question, but let's just do it. When you're doing your creative stuff, whether it's painting, music, do you consider that work?
Good question. What I'm working on right now is work because I'm doing an illustration for a book for an Italian.
Okay.
In Italy. So it is work, but it's fun work, you know?
Yeah.
I'm like, I feel so lucky to be doing what I do, you know?
Oh yeah. I'm one of these people who's just like, if you love what you do, it's not work.
Yep. Absolutely.
That's just how I've lived. I try to live my life anyway. So this is a pretty loose show. Where
Sweet.
Yeah, we can talk about whatever we'd like, really. But one thing I'd like to know about you. So, in your case, what came first, the music or the art? Technically, I know they're the same thing, but
I was doing music as a teenager. I had a synth, and I saw all my friends playing guitar, and I figured I want to play synth because everybody's playing guitar, you know?
Yeah.
So I started doing music long before I started doing art, and I just stumbled onto art. I would go to libraries, this is before the internet, and look at art books and then I discovered like people like Salvador Dali and M.C. Escher and these surrealist artists, and I was just so blown away. I was probably like in my early 20s.
Okay.
And I had just kept looking at that stuff and really thought I want to do this stuff, you know.
Yeah.
I, so I just taught myself how to try to emulate these guys, you know, and which eventually led me to where I am now. So I'm self-taught.
Okay. Nice. Now,
Yeah.
I gotta know, like, what you mentioned. You were playing synth since everyone went guitar. Did you ever get a keytar?
No, but the guitar player in Tree Speak plays one live. So if you come to our live shows, there will be a Casio guitar.
There we go. There we go. That's yeah. Because they're still made, correct?
I think I don't know. His is a it's like a genuine vintage one, you know, from like probably the the early '90s
Oh.
sometime.
Yeah, I don't know if who's making the keytars, or if they stopped making them, and now anyone you see is actually pretty rare and valuable. And yeah, I don't know how that works out. When you were starting to play, did you have any bad high school band names?
You know what? I was never in bands. I I would always sit down to try to learn a song,
Yeah.
you know, like for a cover band or something. And I just always wandered off. Like I would play like the first one or two chords and wandered off and started writing my own stuff. So to this day, I probably know about three or four cover songs and that's it. And they're cover songs that I've like bastardized, you know, on
Yeah.
purpose.
Well, I mean, yeah, you're just making them more original.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Now, what are those songs?
One of them is Modern English. Um, we we did it with the the last band I was in with Crystal Radio. What's it called? The melted. What's it called? Melted away or
Yeah, I think
melt? I
yeah,
melt
that
with you. I melt with you.
yes, yes, yeah.
Yeah, we. That song is in a major key, and we turned it into a minor song. We turned it into this dark, like Western song, which is pretty damn cool.
Nice. I'm sure that's
Yeah.
how the original song was meant to be heard.
And then the other song that we did was that song, "The Figurehead" by The Cure.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Nice, nice.
which is totally like an obscure song.
You know what? If you're only gonna know three cover songs, those are the three you got to know. Uh,
Yeah, it's
s-
funny.
so when did you say to yourself, you know what? I know you're saying how you were writing music by yourself, but when do you decide, you know what? I'm gonna do my own thing, and then you start up Trees Speak.
Um, well, Tree Speak is kind of an interesting project. I feel like it it's this project that just manifested organically. Like Damon and I, he plays drums and guitar and other treatments.
Mm.
Him and I had been performing in Blind Divine for a while and writing songs, and Mike Glidewell as well. He played with Black Sun. I had known Mike for a long time, and we were always into trying to do minimalist music, and we had access to an art gallery. Um, they would record at night every night at the gallery,
Hmm.
and we started experimenting with this minimalist sound that became Tree Speak. But when we finished recording all the songs, and as well we were doing, we never had any intention of ever releasing them or ever even having a name for as a band. Or we were just literally like boffins in a laboratory, you know,
Yeah.
experimenting.
Nice, nice. And so it's
Yeah,
funny, yeah, because I have my buddy and I play drums, and my buddy sings and plays guitar.
nice.
and we made an album about, I want to say it's like maybe 8 years ago, and we just never released it. We just have it.
Yeah, and that's what Tree Speak was going to be.
Uh-huh.
It's kind of so. One day I was in um, computer and I saw all the songs in there, and I figured, these songs are actually not that bad. Like I found myself listening to them while I would paint
Uh-huh.
and do things. So like I genuinely liked them, and I figured, I'm going to put them up on Bandcamp, and with the expectation that nobody's ever going to listen to them or nothing's ever going to happen, and literally had them up there for about a month, and Synedelic Records from Italy. I don't know how they stumbled on the music, but they found it, and Marco from Synedelic, he emailed me and said, "Hey, would you be interested in releasing a double LP of this stuff?" And I was blown away. I'm like, "What? This is like, is
No,
this a
no,
joke?"
how dare you? Now leave me alone. Send.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's how we ended up working with Synedelic, and I took the music off of um, uh, SoundCloud. One thing did tell him, I said, what if we just release it on vinyl and make it really difficult for people to find it digitally? And he was totally into that idea.
Ah, that's the best. That's the best. It's
Yeah, so
yeah, definitely in an age where everything is. I talk to a lot of people, or my friends and all that. They just buy their music digitally. I'm one of the only people in my group of friends that actually purchases vinyl, just because I feel if it's a band I really like, I feel like it's more of a commitment and shows more love towards the band to be like, I own it on vinyl because I like this. I like it.
I agree, like the I totally agree with that 100%. I find myself, the only vinyl that I buy is vinyl that I'm going to listen to from beginning to end.
Yeah,
If I'm not going to do that, I don't even bother buying it.
exactly. So do you have a huge vinyl collection?
It's starting to become huge, and my plan was like, I want to, I want to live a minimalist life with not a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But here I find myself buying all this vinyl, a lot of stuff that I overlooked, growing up. Um, just going back and revisiting it and really, 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 really appreciating it.
Nice, nice. Yeah, it's there's nothing. I know you said you were trying to live a minimalist life, but I mean, you can live minimalist in different ways. Just music. Why not?
Yeah,
So,
most definitely.
and so when it came to making the album that you guys are going to release here soon, what now? I know you guys were just playing around, but was there one song in particular that was took a little bit more time, a little bit more tinkering from you guys?
I really don't. I don't think we were really playing around when we were doing it. We were pretty serious when we pushed record.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it was. I've always, coming from the art world,
Mm-hmm.
I've always felt that music was is so fleeting, and we would jam and we would have performances, and I always felt like, man, that was such a great performance.
Uh-huh.
I wish we would have recorded it.
Yeah.
And I was just getting really, I just became really bummed out that so many performances weren't recorded. And so when Damien and I started recording Tree Speak, we would sit down and, we would think, let's make a simple sequence. While the sequence is going on, um, just do like this really interesting guitar stuff that really brings out the nuances of the sequence.
Mm-hmm.
And, so that was our approach to that, like record number one. I don't know if you've listened to it, but there's two records. Record number one was me, Mike, and Damien, and record number two was Gabe Sullivan and Julius and Connor and Damien, myself. But record one was a totally different approach than record number two.
I listened to record. It had Black Butterfly on it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I listened to all of that.
and the last two tracks, Shadow Circuit, are the the record two.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah,
Nice, nice.
you probably listen. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so I listened to
So
all of
anyway,
it then.
yeah. So anyway, the um, record number one was very particular minimalism, but still um, improv. I don't really like that word because I feel like improv almost kind of sounds like you're noodling.
Right.
We weren't really noodling. We were very specific about what we were trying to achieve with with the improv.
And it's almost like you were, yeah, not in let's see, like maybe kind of being precise yet still being flexible.
Totally, we
There we
we
go.
would. I think what we would do is we would draw out on some of the tracks. I would draw out a chart, like a graph,
Hmm.
and I would say, we're going to start here and then crescendo up, and then maybe come down a little bit at 2 minutes, and then go back up, and maybe you could do something here. So there's a little bit of guidance, but it was more like a visual type of guidance.
Okay, okay. Now I'm gonna ask the flip
And
side.
sometimes that
Oh no, go on, go on.
I'll say sometimes that's what our if we have uh like a song list for a set list for a live show, uh, a diagram instead of writing songs.
Nice. Now the flip side of the question. I know everything was kind of planned out, but was there one song that just like yeah instantly whether it was the first or second album, you guys just kind of locked in and like knew exactly how it was gonna go?
I kind of feel like it's gonna. This sounds crazy, but I feel like that kind of happened with all of the songs
Mm-hmm.
that are on the record. Because there's other songs that aren't on the record, and maybe those songs didn't have that sort of connection.
Yeah.
So we probably whittled it down to the songs that where we all gelled on some other level, some ethereal level. But if you're asking me if there's any standout songs, it's such a strange thing with this record because some days there are standout songs and it could be a different one, and then another day it's a different one. So this is Tree Speak is it's such an interesting project. I'm still trying to understand it, and I'm excited about it because I don't. Usually, you get in a band and you make an album and you're like, okay, we kind of got a sound going,
Yeah.
we got certain thing going. With Tree Speak, it's like it's a philosophy, of how to live and how to approach music, and not and also to not take yourself so serious, but at the same time be serious when they push record.
Yeah.
So it's all these paradoxes and all these contradictions. It's neat because it's a lot of contradictions, and I think that's what excites me about it.
Nice, nice. Music has always, or in my opinion, it should always be made to challenge something.
Definitely, it definitely is a challenge. I think I remember the first performance that we had. Um, I didn't really invite people because I didn't know how it was going to go.
Yeah.
So what ended up happening is it was a full house.
Oh, okay.
And I told Damon, I said, "Shit, man, look, there's like a lot of people here. Like, we don't even know what we're gonna play. We didn't even rehearse for the show. We had no idea what we were gonna do, and that was kind of the concept, you know. Like, we had been talking about it for a long time, and here it was in front of us, and I was honestly, I've been performing for 20 years
Mm-hmm.
in front of, large, small, whatever crowds, and I was I was really nervous for the show because this was the first show where I had no idea what was going to happen. Zero, not even, we didn't even have a riff or
Mm-hmm.
a drum beat that we were going to, we just went up there and started up, and it was literally, it was one of those shows where I wish we would have recorded because it was so much angst and energy and fear and beauty that I wish we would have captured that show on tape, and it's just another one of those shows that really bummed me out where it's fleeting.
Yeah, yeah, and it was one of those shows that was the first of a lot of things. So
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I hear you, I hear you, I hear you, I get it. Um, so for you though, and there's no right or wrong answer, and I get that it's a loaded question, but for you, what is the perfect song?
The perfect song.
Yes.
I think the perfect song is a song that in no way sounds forced.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it has danger in it, and it could be a danger that sounds beautiful. Danger necessarily doesn't mean to me doesn't necessarily mean something that is dark or frightening.
Yeah.
It could be a fragile beauty that is dangerous. So just something that feels very natural, and when you're listening to it, you have no idea where it's going to take you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've been listening to some of the Beatles, like revisiting um, some of their songs, and
Yeah.
some of their songs are really strange because they started off with like a verse and then a chorus, and then they never even repeat that verse or chorus again. They're like in a whole other song, and I'm thinking, like, these guys were onto something great. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I love that approach. Where I'm just starting to get tired of hearing like you get a verse and then you get a chorus and then you know the verse is going to be like. Fuck that. There's so much more to the possibilities to challenge yourself are right in front of us.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, they proved that you do it.
And
I don't know if I answered your
no,
question.
no, no. And again, it's like I was saying earlier. Anytime you can challenge something, why not? Go right ahead. Do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
I just feel like the perfect song should sound effortless.
there you go. There you go. And so for the people at home who would like to pick up the album when it's out, where can they do that?
So the record is out now.
Okay.
It came out on Friday. It's a European release,
Okay.
but you could buy it. You could buy it if you go to synedelic.com, and it's a limited run. So I would totally recommend getting it. It's a beautiful record. The artwork was done by Barrick Henderson. He's a Australian. He has a PhD in biology,
Uh huh.
and he's also an artist. And I saw one of his. I've been a fan of his work for years, and he posted a piece, and I thought that would be such a beautiful cover for Tree Speak. And I reached I reached out to him, and he he said, "Yeah, man, let's do it. Let's do a trade. Like, I love your work. Like, if you give me a piece, I'll let you use this piece, for your
Yeah.
cover. So we traded, and the record, it's a double vinyl. It's a clear vinyl, and there's also some of my artwork in it. And it comes with 5 postcards
Mm-hmm.
and a 12 by 12 card of a piece of artwork that I created.
Nice, nice. And then, and then it'll hit America later.
Yeah, we're still trying to nail down that date. I think it's going to be January.
Okay, okay.
But you might be able to find it in record stores here in the U.S. because the Synedelic, they have distribution in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I think if you just did a search for it, you'll find it.
Okay, okay. Nice, nice. Daniel, thank you so much for chatting with me. I'm happy I got to chat with you. I enjoyed I enjoyed the aspect that one of your arts influences the other art, and I think that's so cool and that's so important in today.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah, and anytime you want to come back on, just say the word. All right, man.
All right. Thank you, man.
Thank you, and you have a wonderful day.
You too.
All right, bye bye.
Bye.